kind of taking a moment to center myself. It's been a while, once again. Getting myself back into the zone. I was feeling really inspired to just talk to you guys. I do have some things to tap on as well. Make some good sounds. I've rearranged my bedroom again, so the window is now on this side rather than behind me, and I have a lamp over here as well. I think it looks quite nice. Of course, my beautiful tapestry wall hanging back here. Gosh, I love it so much. So today I just wanted to chat. This might turn out to be quite a long video, we'll see. I've been meaning to make a video like this for a while, where I actually just talk about what my life has been like, kind of catch you guys up a bit. And I know I've been a bit absent lately as well, which I do feel bad about, and I really wish I could be more consistent with everything, really, and not just videos, but just things in my life in general. And I've really been quite frustrated with it recently, whilst still trying to give myself grace. The whole topic of sort of all or nothing thinking. I think learning that I have ADHD has been so helpful, and things make a lot more sense. But I've had this pattern of not knowing what to do, not knowing what I want to do, and then I'll find something that interests me and I will go all in. A new hobby. I've done it many times over the years. And I'm so all in that I'll think, this is it, this is what I want to do with my life. I've done it with various hobbies, different creative endeavors, with music, and I went and studied. I was like, this is my passion, this is what I want to do with my life. I moved, I started studying, and then it all kind of fell apart. And then I felt like such a failure. What was the point I was trying to make? So my motivation is just so all or nothing and so black and white. And it feels like I can only have one interest at any one time. So sometimes I'll get really in the flow in making ASMR videos. And then I'll get in the flow with something else and my videos kind of take a back seat. And as well as just, other factors like fatigue and, executive functioning difficulties, as well as all of that. It's just something I want to improve on, and I want to figure out if I can get to a place where I can multitask. I wanted to talk a little bit too, and I know I've talked about it in the past, like memberships and stuff. Because it's something I really want to do. And I realized recently that I've been too scared to open up memberships because I feel like I don't deserve it. Because I'm not consistent enough. I feel like, I don't know, like my channel's not good enough for it. So recognizing that is very helpful. Because it's something I can work on then, and I was thinking perhaps it would be better to just start and see what happens. And perhaps I can tentatively commit to some members only videos, like I feel like once a week is too ambitious for now. Maybe I'll just say once a month, like one members only video a month, and then maybe that's going to actually help. Maybe the commitment will be helpful. See how we go. So I'd love to know your thoughts, please, if that's something you would be interested in. I have this thing to tap on. It's a Bluetooth speaker. This is JBL. And my brother brought this over with him on a recent visit. And it's quite dirty because I feel like I need to move back a little bit, because it's been like in his work ute. But I thought it sounded really good. I'll try and keep it nice and slow. It can be difficult when I'm talking because it's yeah, it's hard to multitask, but yeah, so I just kind of wanted to catch you guys up a bit, in case you're interested. So back in March, which was August, April, May, June, July, August, like 6 months ago, I moved interstate by myself. I moved away from all of my family and my friends, which might sound like a crazy thing to do, but it has been a really wonderful experience. I visited this place many times over the years and fell in love, and I just felt like it was my home. And it was a really long journey, of getting myself to a place where I could move, and then the move itself, and looking for a rental and taking the plunge. My God, was it scary. Actually signing a lease and yeah, moving across the ocean pretty much, because not only am I interstate, but I'm on an island state, so I can't just drive to visit my family, I have to fly. Anyway, there's this bit on the bottom that sounds different. You are going to hear some traffic noise, I apologize. There is like an on-ramp onto the main road just nearby. So it means that people, like lots of cars, turn off onto the on-ramp and then like speed up really quickly. So you hear it. But it has been so quiet. If you remember when I first moved, and I think I mentioned a couple times that the neighbours were so loud. Thank God they've moved, they've gone. It kind of got a bit quieter. I think one after another people started to leave, and at the moment, you know, in the dead of winter, most everybody has left now. It was all, I should say, it was, when I first moved in, I was surrounded by seasonal workers. So these people would all get hired from overseas to come in during the warmer months. And then as it grew colder and over the winter, they've all left now. So there is a chance they'll be back. We'll see how it goes. I'm not planning to renew the lease next year, if I can help it. I do miss my family, and I wish I could see them more often, because it's probably like a full day's travel to go see them. But I am doing okay. Like, I'm actually doing really well. And I really, really love my independence. And not even just like that I live on my own, but like having my own town, having my own city. And I find it's kind of a weird topic to talk about, but I find I don't seem to miss people in the same way that other people do. And I found this like my whole life. It generally takes a lot longer for me to feel that like longing in my chest. Because it does happen sometimes. And I'm hesitant to say that I don't miss them, because I think I do. I do miss them, but it just feels like I feel it differently, and I cope better, maybe. Which I'm gonna see it as a good thing, maybe. But also, I do talk to them on the phone regularly, and we do video calls, which I never really did before, but it's really helpful. And also with like my 3 closest people, I would say, we do gaming together, like online gaming. And that really, really helps. It really kind of itches that spot where I feel like, oh, I've hung out with this person recently, rather than just talking on the phone. So it goes a long way. It goes a long way in terms of staying connected. We just like hang out, play games, just chat. It's really great. So this must be with actual speakers, like the bass, because it's a little bit squishy. It's on both sides too. It's pretty cool. I think it could get a bit overwhelming. Did I finish talking about it? Basically just, it's so wonderful to look at my life and think, yeah, you know, I'm actually doing pretty okay. Because honestly, when I was a teenager, even, like late teens, early 20s, which wasn't that long ago, I didn't think it was possible. I just didn't. I didn't think it was real. I thought everyone felt the same way that I did, which was just depressed and anxious all the time. And I didn't think that life got any better than that. And it's just really nice that it does. And like, it's not always great, obviously. You know, it's very cliche, but like, I'm not always happy. I'm quite often not happy. But there's kind of this underlying sense that I'm alright. It's like I can feel different things, but it doesn't have as much of an impact on just my sense of being as it used to. This is really random. I have this water absorber. I have many of them in my house, in my apartment. Try and be really gentle. It's quite loud. I found quite a bit of mold, which I have cleaned now. But this place is so poorly insulated. It was just so damp all the time. And yeah, there was some mold growing like in the corner behind the dresser here. But yeah, I got a bunch of these to help with the damp. And they seem to be working. So it's got all of these little like bead things. And a sort of paper layer on top. So, speaking of gaming with my family, I actually, just on a whim, decided to try and record our gaming sessions. And so me and my best friend, we're playing Raft. We're most of the way through the game currently. And I just started recording those sessions without my friend knowing. And it didn't work. I had one issue after another, but finally I figured it out. And I started using OBS software. And I just edited a video with like all the funny bits. The bits where like we were laughing, the things that we found funny. And I just sent it to her privately to have a laugh. And it was great fun. And then my brother and I started playing Minecraft together again, We used to play quite a bit a few years ago, but we started a new realm, and we've been playing quite a bit. And I started recording those as well, and edited a few videos, and I just uploaded them privately on my personal account, like not this account, and just sharing them privately. And my brother loves them and he shared them with some of his friends, and he really encouraged me that I should actually make them public. So I've done that now, and I think I have like 5 subscribers, which are mostly just my family. But I don't really care. I genuinely just have so much fun making the videos. I need something else to tap on. I'm going to go with my trusty hairbrush because it sounds good and it looks pretty. It's got little moths and mushrooms on it. So another big part about me moving, sort of just happening at the same time, I guess. It's always hard for me to talk about. I got supports for myself, and it's really hard to talk about because I have such an ingrained, almost like self-stigma where I feel like I don't deserve help, and like I should just be self-reliant, and I should be capable of doing things myself. Like coming from many years of thinking I was just really lazy and selfish, and so it's still a work in progress of accepting that, but it's been so wonderful. So I got through my diagnosis. If you don't know, I kind of just, I forget people might be somewhat new. Probably a couple of years ago now, I was diagnosed with autism and ADHD. It's been amazing. It's been such a validating experience, and I've learned so much about myself. Like, I sought a diagnosis for autism because I thought maybe that's it. Which turns out, yes, it is. But the ADHD was a complete surprise. Because I thought, no, there's no way that's me. I guess I had such a stereotypical view, but it explains so much. Anyway, through that diagnosis, I've been able to access funding for getting supports for myself. And I've been able to get my own support workers. You might recall that I actually worked as a support worker myself for a bit. But it really wasn't sustainable, and I couldn't have stayed in that job for much longer. Like, it then turned out that I was moving anyway, so I was like, well, that's good timing then. So once again, it's very hard, and it's been such a journey to find my own support workers and find people that are a good fit for me. It's just made so much difference, and they've been so helpful in like keeping me on top of my own mental health. Like, yeah, I don't know. They help with a lot of practical things, but just having their routine, you know, once or twice a week of knowing someone's going to be there and helping me with appointments or with housework or just getting out of the house, going for a walk. It's so hard sometimes to just leave the house by myself. Anyway, still difficult to talk about, so I'll move on. I'll share a few of my interests lately. And one of them is not so new, and it's sewing. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, I got so motivated and got so all in. I sewed like crazy for a while there, and I decided I really wanted to go to local markets and try and sell my things. And it's just so hard. It's and I did actually do one a couple months ago now. It didn't go well, and then I got busy, and then yeah, it was really hard to get back into the flow of things. And yeah, recently I was really trying to get myself into markets, and I think I just exhausted myself mentally, and I found myself not wanting to sew anything anymore. And again, it's just so frustrating, this pattern of like just getting all into something and then it kind of fizzling out and losing motivation for it. And so a big part of what I've learned is to try and let go of shame and get out of the shame spiral, and that's made a huge difference. I think that's the reason that I have continued to have a YouTube channel for so long, because it's been like 4 years, I think. It's got really bright in here. What happened? Why are you... There we go. I don't know why I did that. I used to just feel so ashamed of myself anytime I got into something, because every time I would think, this is it, this is the thing I'm going to do, and then it would inevitably end, and I would feel like such a failure. So I'm doing a lot better in that regard. Not perfect, but a lot better in giving myself grace and not feeling like I failed, and just letting the seasons of things come and go. But it's still frustrating because, like, it's all well and good to just pursue things that make me happy in the moment, but to make money. Simply put, like, I would like to, you know, I get so, I feel like I found this creative pursuit that I really love, and wouldn't it be great if I could make money? Like, I'll take my things that I've sewn and sell them at markets, or I'll tell you about my photography I've been getting into. You know, what could I do with that? Could I... Yeah. Anyway. Let me show you. So I've always kind of had a background interest in photography for as long as I can remember. I never really thought it was like one of my interests, but I have always enjoyed taking photos, and I've often been told that I've got an eye for it. And just a couple months ago, my sister said, hey, I've got this old digital camera. I think it's like from the late 2000s, so not super old, but kind of old. And she's like, I do not use it. If you think you'll use it, you're welcome to take it with you. And it's been so fun. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it very well. I just kind of put it on auto and hope for the best. And I really want to take classes to learn how to use this thing. We'll see. But it's still been amazing, and it is so different from just using your phone. Like, I know that phones can take beautiful photos, but I think they're very limited in what you can do, and they feel very like flat. And also, at least on my camera, the zoom is atrocious. That's really different. Do you like it? So it's bringing me a lot of joy. Sometimes I'll go on an outing and bring the camera, and like, that's the whole plan, is to just go and take photos. I'll go down to the river, or to wildlife parks, zoos. Here it is. It's bright red because it was my sister's, and she's always been very bold and quirky, so she had to have the red one, which I love. It does make me feel more noticed, however. it's something I wasn't expecting. Like, I feel like I am noticed when I take the camera out down the street, because it's actually not all that common to see someone with a big camera like this anymore. Like, just taking photos on your phone is the normal, and also it's bright red, so yeah, I get the fear of being perceived, I guess. It's not necessarily that I think people are judging me or anything. It's just, I don't know, feeling like I'm going to be noticed. It's a little unsettling. I went to the zoo and took photos of the animals, and it was honestly one of the best days. I had such an amazing time, and I spent maybe like 3 or 4 hours there, and it was so quiet because it was just a random Monday. There were only maybe 3 families there total, and I'm looking forward to going back this week, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But I've taken some of my favourite photos, and I think taking photos of animals in particular really excites me. I find it very satisfying. So even, going down to the river, I do take some landscape photos, but I find I really love taking pictures of sometimes more macro photography, but also I find myself taking pictures of the birds and the animals. So this is the regular lens that it comes with, but my sister also sent a zoom lens, which is much bigger. I find it really, really fun, and I pretty much always use this. It's got this is the cover on the back, this is the bit that would attach to the camera. So when it's not attached, it has a cover on it so that dust doesn't get in the lens. Some already has, from when my sister owned it, so some photos do have, there's a couple of spots that sometimes the dust shows up in the photos. It's okay. I do sometimes have trouble holding still and not having a lot of shake when I'm zoomed in, but I think I still do okay. I think if I had a zoom any bigger than this, I would definitely need a tripod. You can see the difference in the lenses there. I really like the way cameras sound in general. I love, love, love when people film using a camera like this and tap on the camera. More than I don't love the sounds when people tap on the phone. Sometimes it's okay. but when it's an actual camera, I tap on the lens or on the camera itself. I love it. The video function on this is not great, so I'll continue to use my phone for now. Something else that brings me so much joy are the beaches here. Sadly, the nearest beach is probably an hour away, but a lot of the beaches are very calm and are full of rocks, big rocky beaches, lots and lots of shells and glass. This is sea glass. Look how much of it I have. I got this big jar to put it in because I wanted room to grow, and I reckon I'll probably fill it. I love beach fossicking. It's like so relaxing, so rejuvenating. It seems to fill my soul, feed my soul. I used to think I wasn't a beach person, but the beaches where I used to live were big surf beaches. So really big waves, which are still beautiful, but just stretches and stretches of sand, like sand dunes. A lot of people would think that it was beautiful, and a lot of people did. But I never really understood it. I thought it was just kind of boring and a little bit lonely feeling, like there was just nothing there. And I never liked going in the water anyway. But the beaches here are so different, and they feel like just comforting hugs to me. I was actually really brave yesterday. So I went beach fossicking yesterday because I wanted to. But for a few days, pretty much all of last week, I actually got very, very depressed. I think I pushed myself too far when my brother visited. It was a wonderful time, but I didn't give myself the rest I needed or anything, and I exhausted myself, and I got really, really depressed and kind of just stayed in bed for a few days straight. And so yesterday I wanted to get out of the house, do something that my heart loves. So I went to a couple of different beaches, and I spent the whole afternoon actually just on the beach and doing a little bit of shopping in the town. And it was one of those sleepy little towns where everyone just seems relaxed, like no one's in a hurry. Everyone's really friendly. I went into a crystal shop and chatted with the owner a little bit and bought a couple of crystals, which I'm going to show you in the next video. I think I'm going to make a video just showing you some pretty things. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was a little bit brave. The first beach I visited, there were lots of rocks, but nothing that I thought were particularly exciting. And a little down the ways, I noticed an older couple were very intently searching through the rocks and like studying and picking some up, and they had a bag which I assume had rocks in it, and I was just so curious, and I was really like, I couldn't possibly just ask them, could I? And I like walked up to them and then kept walking and then came back. And maybe it's not a big deal, but it was to me. And I just said, excuse me, would you mind sharing what you're looking for? And they were really lovely, and they said, of course, they were looking for petrified wood. So they don't look like too much just lying there amongst all the other rocks. But she said, if you know what you're looking for, you can see the very subtle wood grain, and then they take them home and they tumble them and they come up all nice and shiny and beautiful. So that was really nice. Okay, I just grabbed a shoe because I needed something random. I don't wear these because of the heel. I'm not very graceful in heels, but I think they're so beautiful. And I've actually, you can see the other one back there, kind of. I just keep them as decoration. I had to stop the video and check my notes on my phone because I'd written some things down. And I just wanted to share something that I've been finding difficult about where I live, and that is that the Facebook community seems to be quite negative, quite toxic, and generally speaking, if I go down the street, people are quite nice, but I think that Facebook gives people courage where they shouldn't have courage. You know, I could just not go on Facebook. I might have to do that, but I didn't want to because I really wanted to be kept updated on local news, and it was a really, really great way. Like, I was following some local news Facebook pages just to see what was happening, and because I don't like watching the news, and it's really hard to take in the entire world's news. But the comments on a lot of the posts, there's a lot of people that just have no compassion and no just basic human decency. Like, a lot of people. sometimes it's the majority of the replies and comments and everything. Quite often, actually. There also seems to be quite a lot of what's the word? Like homophobia. Is there a word that's more general? Like bigoted, perhaps. Very bigoted people. And in June, for Pride Month, our council hung up a lot of pride flags in like the CBD area. Progress pride flags, which was wonderful. And then some people burned them. They were taken down and vandalized and set on fire. And I made the mistake of reading some comments, the comment sections on about it, and it was brutal, and it just deeply, deeply saddened me. I don't really want to end on that note. So perhaps to end on a better note, I'll just circle back around to an earlier point and just how I feel about moving and after moving. And I truly deeply feel like I made the right decision, and it is such a good feeling because it was so scary actually making the move, and there was a chance that it was all just gonna fall apart and like just work out terribly. And it is such a deeply satisfying feeling to know that I know myself so well, and I trusted myself that this was right for me. If it had have gone poorly, that still would have been okay. Like, I would have learned from it and I would have just figured out what was next, but it's still so satisfying. And most of the time I just settle into normality, which I think is just expected. But every now and again I do have these little like moments of joy where I'll see something beautiful about where I live, or I don't know, I just have these moments where I go like, I actually did it. Like, I live here, this is my home, and it took so much work, and I actually did it. I made it happen. I watched a video where someone had a coffee with his past self, and I think it was a trend. I think lots of people did it. But it just made me think, like, what if I had coffee with my past self and she saw where I am and how well I'm doing, how much progress I've made, where I'm living now. And I think she would be amazed. I think she'd be really proud of me. And it was such an interesting feeling because this was a little while ago, And at the time, I was finding it really hard to feel proud of myself. So it was really powerful to realize some version of me is proud of me. And yeah, I think she would have been in awe that I made it. Because it's been a dream for quite a while now. So I think that's really cool. I'm thoroughly talked out. I don't know how interesting these videos are. They're weird to make because I don't know if anyone actually is interested or not. But sometimes I just feel like talking to you. And it's a really good opportunity for me to reflect on myself as well. So, if you have listened to this entire video, then you have my gratitude. If you've listened to any of what I have to say, then you have my gratitude. And I hope the sounds are okay. I think these types of longer videos are really good to just have on in the background. So, hopefully it was relaxing. And it's really good to see you again. I'd really love to hear how you're doing. I think I've not responded to a few comments in the last sort of month I've been away, and I apologize for that. I think it's the shame spiral again. I haven't been making videos, so I can't respond to comments. Anyway, but genuinely, I love hearing from you, and I do my absolute best to respond. You're all pretty great.